Well, you mentioned the emotionality that kind of came with becoming a father, and
Mhm.
but there's also well, I don't want to say political, but there's some thoughts about the world and society on the record as well.
Yeah, yeah, that word doesn't scare me. There is some political
Okay.
conversation on the record. I think even the song "Take Me to the Alley" is political
Sure.
in a way. It's probably suggests when I say "Take Me to the Alley," I mean in every city there might not be a physical alley. It may be just those forgotten places, those dark places, those neglected places that need to be elevated and illuminated in a way. So yeah, I mean that's a conversation maybe about poor people, minorities. It may be a conversation about people addicted to something. It might be about an area that had received less than the support that it should have. You know,
Sure.
it may whatever place needs to be elevated and lifted up in some kind of way, and brought to a good standard. That's the alley.
Right.
That's the alley that's been left neglected.
So with Take Me to the Alley, you mentioned the kind of the not a physical alley, but things that need to be elevated. When you start writing a song like this, do you think about specific things, or is it more of an idea?
Yeah, it's an idea, but you know, it's even specific in a way. You know, I don't. You know, I use the king as a symbol for somebody who's held in high esteem, that may have been adorned with wealth and political favor and these things. So I say, so we gild our houses in preparation for the king, and we line the sidewalks with every sort of shiny thing, but they will be surprised when they hear the king say, "Take me to the alley, take me to the afflicted ones, take me to the lonely ones that somehow lost their way. Let them hear me say, I'm your friend, come to my table, rest here in my garden, you will have a pardon." We're talking about, you know, forgiveness. We got a little food there. We got a place to stay, you know, if you don't have nowhere to live, you know. So, yeah, it's specific and it's idyllic in a way, yeah.
This might be a stretch, but is there a parallel with your own life? Because you are a well-known musician now. You have a Grammy Award-winning. So do people treat you differently, or have certain expectations of you that you'd like to show that you're just a normal person?
Yeah, I pretty well am still a normal person. I'm not that. I don't think I'm that. I don't think I'm that awesome. I'm not that rich, you know.
No, but in the sense that, well, with the king, that people shower you with adoration.
Yeah, right. Well, I think this is something that I do. I think I have the energy and spotlight of the camera, and with that, I'm delivering a message like this. I think I'm doing what I'm saying in the song.
Right.
And quite frankly, my number one charity that I contribute to is a place that feeds people several times a week and gives them clothes, and so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I think about it. Yeah.
And then the other song that has this political element in is "Fan the Flames."
Yeah, "Fan the Flames" is an homage to nonviolent protest. I'm looking at some of the protests that happen really all over the world, but in particular in my country, in the U.S. I just always want to just be mindful and want to remind, you know, the protesters that there's sufficient reason to protest without question. Stand up on your seat with your dirty feet, raise your fist in the air, but be sweet is a poetic way to say, remember the most effective protests that happened in the 60s.
Sure.
Nonviolent protests led by Dr. King, yeah.
So what's the kind of the reason why you wrote that song? Was that Ferguson and whatever?
Yeah, absolutely.
And As an artist, is it important for you to talk openly about what you feel about these things?
Yeah, I think Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye, Bill Withers kind of really laid down, you know, a palette of genius for us to look at and really to realize that we should, as any artistic endeavor, we should draw and pull inspiration and make commentary about the environment that we're in.
And in that sense, would you do you ever have reservations about talking about certain stuff?
Personally, no. About something that's happening with me in my personal environment. And no, I think there was a song, sometimes a song that I've written about the things that I've written about that nobody has heard.
Sure.
I've written a song about modern day slavery and trafficking. It's poetically written so the words are not as striking as a newscast, but you know, the energy of what I'm saying is very clear and evident. And you know, at some point I'll release that. But the problems are there, and I want to say something about them.
Finally, then, because I don't have a lot of time, I think. I think I have to.
You're in trouble.
But yeah, I think so. So one last question. Your background is jazz, but it's also soul, funk, and it's not that easy to pigeon down and pigeonhole. So how would you attribute your success crossing over genres?
I think both for jazz, soul, blues, gospel, wherever people are hearing or coming to my music, I think they hear a sincerity and an emotional depth in my music that may be attractive to the ear. For me, that's I think most important. You know, it's music that's somewhere in between the head and the heart. You know, that's where I'm trying to be.
Thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you.